What's up? What's up? What's up? Who's all out there? No one yet. Uh, just gonna bullshit until somebody gets up in here. Kind of a late minute live, I guess. Um, got one watching. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. How's everyone doing tonight? One thumbs down already? Cool. Thanks. Cool. CSL, what's up? How you doing? Chilling, chilling. Just thought I'd come up here for a little bit, hang out, talk, bull crap, whatnot. Wasted. Oh yeah? Nothing wrong with being wasted. Damn, got one thumbs down though. That's awesome. Three thumbs up. Appreciate the love. Appreciate the love. Two people watching. Thank you. Worked. It's good. Got a lot of paperwork done. Hell yeah. Work was okay for me today. It wasn't too bad. What's up, Cold Blooded? How you doing, brother? Hopefully you're having a great night. Chris Hardwick. Oh, hell yeah. What's up, bro? How you doing, man? CSL, what's up? Again? Cold Blooded. Hell yeah. Mr. Reptiles, how you guys doing? Got one thumbs down already. Once again, I appreciate it. Thank you. Shows the love. Shows the love. We got six people watching now. I appreciate all of you. I didn't set this up. There was no like, oh, you'll know in 30 minutes I'm gonna go live. Getting ready to feed some snakes. Hell yeah. I'm I actually do mine on Saturday. Saturday is my feeding day. That's the day I go with. Um, I offer them once a week. Venom, save the frogs. Hell yeah. I gotta get another frog then. If we're gonna keep saving frogs, I need two frogs. I can't just because it says save the frogs, and I only got a frog. Oh yeah. Appreciate you being in here though, Chris Hardwick. Hell yeah, man. Appreciate you, man. Desert Wolf, what's up, man? How you doing? Hey, people watching. Appreciate you guys. Appreciate you guys. I really do. Save the frog. Yeah. What's up, Big Wolf? Hell yeah. Chilling though tonight. I got some things done. I'm short on the railings on my rack for the rats, the second one. So I need three more cuts actually. And then I could throw, I have all the frames done with the tees. I'm doing good, Patty. How are you doing? No, I didn't call off. Hell no. I got work in the morning. It just seems early going an hour ahead. You know what I'm saying? Like, just, yeah. Usually it'd be like 8:30. It's like 9:30. Yeah. Oh yeah, 10 people watching. Oh, 11 now. Appreciate you guys. If you guys haven't already, hit the like button for me, please. And you can share this shit out. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Oh yeah. Might get on speed. That's good, Patty. Hit the like button. Hell yeah, appreciate it. Thank you, Cold Blooded. Oh yeah. See if Iron Dog or my Animal House joins. Just say what's up. I know they will. Iron Dog's probably in the background right now watching, just doing something. What's up? How you doing, Esther? Sorry, that's yeah. Name change, yeah. I had to stop in, say what's up. I'm going to bed though. All right, man. Later, Mr. Reptiles. You have a good night, man. Appreciate you. Oh yeah, but I'm gonna drop the link so if someone wants to join, um, solo sucks. I figure it. I know how to do it, but damn, it's not letting me. There you go. There you go. Oh, I appreciate it, Iron Dog. How you doing, brother? Thank you for sharing it too. I appreciate it. Thank you. Oh yeah, Iron Dog's the fucking man. Good guy right there. So what's up, guys? How's your Monday going? How's everyone's Monday? Saw a lot of you already, if not all of you, except for one, and the Iron Animal show. Yo, Justin, you just missed it. Hardwood was here. He has to go feed some snakes, though. He's a busy man. He's more than welcome, though. Chris Hardwick's watching still. Like, you're more than welcome to come up here and feed your ball pythons. I mean, shit. I'm just saying. Jerome fed 250 in 15 minutes. So if you could beat, and that'd be dope. You need more subs so we can throw down a super chat. Yeah, no, I'm not close. I think, what am I? 315. Yeah. That's not bad, though. That's not bad. I mean, from what, starting less than a year? What, like 9 months? Yeah, I don't think that's bad. Can't all be rock stars. No, you're good, cold blooded. Don't worry about it, man. You're all good, man. You're all good. Appreciate the love from all of you, though, showing up. Hell yeah. Got 11 of you in the house. Appreciate it. I'll eventually get, you know, I don't know, up in subscribers, but it's fun doing these lives. I get to talk to you guys, hang out. What's up, Todd? How you doing, bro? How's it over there with you at your place, Todd? How's the weather like? You're a great dude, and you know it. You'll get there. Thank you, Patty, and thank you, Chris Hardwick. Thank you, thank you. Buzz Lightyear, what's up, bro? How you doing tonight? I'll see you in the morning. Come in, show that again, just thumbs up, and then peace. Appreciate it, though, man. 11 thumbs up. If you haven't already, smack that like button for me, please. Really appreciate it. Drop the link for Todd. There you go. And Chris Hardwick. There you go. Todd going to join? Is that was Oh yeah, no, dude, Todd, I just saw the message. Yeah, dude, you're more than welcome to come on. Okay, let's go. Get on here. I want to hear it now. And not like, yeah, but I'm very curious now. What's got Todd pissed off? This will be entertaining. Who's Todd gonna beat up tonight? Do we have a weigh-in, height, all that? Bring the hate. Don't worry, yeah, no, I get hate all the time. It's all good. Bring the hate. But I know you ain't coming on here and hate on me. But bring the hate. What's up, Jeremy Davis? How you doing, man? Say, I don't fuck around, Desert Wolf, with PayPal. I think I've never. I I have sent money through it, but I don't ever tell anyone mine. I don't really mess with it too much. It's pretty much, yeah, no. You're not in there, dude. I'm not seeing you as a guest. You got to click the link. You still haven't popped up, Ben. I'll drop the link again for you, but you have not popped up. Still waiting on you. Trust me. It'll go through and let me know. I believe that you did click the link, but it didn't tell me you're behind stage. It'll show the little red dot, like right by guest. There you are. See, that time it showed up, but the first time it didn't. I hate Chris. Okay, here we go.
Hi, my name is Chris Brogan. I do the Backpack Show, and I'm on every damn StreamYard ad. That guy, you know what I'm saying? I mean, Iron Dog was catching it earlier. I tell you what, Ball, it's a rough day because had a snake that was given to me by a buddy about 6 months ago. Very special little snake, that little Transpecos. Copperhead. I've got him out a time or two, I think, and he died.
Oh,
And us Iron Dog or someone, look at Iron Dog in chat.
yeah.
He was like, someone, maybe it was Moto. Someone said, yeah, Derek, lost my Transpecos, that little hatchling, just up and died. And they asked me, if I knew what it was. And I said, I'm pretty sure he got sick of seeing that Chris Brogan StreamYard commercial on YouTube. So he committed suicide and started biting himself ruthlessly. And like the whole chat, busted up, and it was kind of a let's make something funny out of something that actually really sucked. But man, it's I feel bad because like I was going to try to catch up to DEA Exotics this weekend, and Andrew, if you're listening, dude, it was Sweetwater weekend, and that's kind of always busy for me. For those of your followers that don't know, I spend a lot of time tracking information regarding the rattlesnake roundups. Ball Python, I think me and you have had that discussion before, but there may be someone out there that's new that doesn't realize that about me, and so it kind of jacked my whole weekend because the people I was counting on to watch some things didn't watch those things, and the old adage: you want something done right, you got to do it yourself. So it was kind of just a messed up weekend all around, and Andrew was trying to get me on the other night, and I was going to come on, but I was just like, I just fell over like on the couch. It's just like, I'm dead, bury me. It's just, I'd been up like 2 days at that point. But it's just I lost that little baby Transpecos, and that was kind of like it was eating fine. was doing fine. Temps were optimum. Was drinking water every chance it got, and it just died. And sometimes with a baby wild caught, you have that, but it's just kind of just not been the best day, and you know, and
Who
I,
was it? Rob also lost his snake today. Like one of them died when he checked on it. Like he found it dead. Somebody said that they also today uh their ball python though died. So and that
ooh,
was sad to hear. I was in the middle of building the rat rack, so I really like I saw the comment and I felt bad, but I was busy at the same time. I was like, damn, dude, that fucking sucks.
well, normally, I mean, and I was telling a friend of mine this earlier that like when you've kept snakes off and on for years, you kind of know that every once in a while you're going to have a snake doesn't make it, especially
Yeah.
when you're dealing with like wild caughts and natives, things like that. But this little guy was just like, it's like you almost never see a trans pecos in my neighborhood. Okay, I've got you, Iron Dog. Yeah, and I agree, Desert. But buddy of mine gave him to me like for my birthday last year, and he was just kind of a cool snake, and I just really liked him. And and it was just kind of a bummer going there and like check his cage. It's like, well, he's not moving, and I'm just like, God. But anyway, it happens. On the other side of the tip, everything else ate well today. All my live feeders. I'm going to start saying stretch gang in my videos. No, I'm really not. But what are you up to today, Ball Python? How's your day been?
Not bad, dude. Went to work, and then came home, watched the Iron Animal show in the background, and then until I ran out. I thought I had all the pieces cut, but I had all the pieces cut for the frame and the teeth for each of them, so I didn't actually cut the railings or anything. So I only have 5 railings, and I need five more. So I'm one half short, or half the railing short. So
Well, that's cool. I mean,
yeah,
at least you're getting something done, man. I mean, you got to look at that. Take credit where credit you can take it.
yeah.
That sounded like I've been up for 3 days and I'm mad and I've had too much caffeine and I want to find this Chris Brogan guy, backpack show. I mean, like me and him in the street, like you know. I just don't know why. I think if I wouldn't get that ad on like every live I join, it's just like this guy again. And you guys are my buddies. Like
Yeah.
DEA, Iron Dog. I watch. So like when I go into a live, I generally like make myself sit through the ad because I know that's going to give revenue to the people broadcasting. And I want people to do that someday for me if I ever get monetized. Because I'm creeping up on 1,000 subscribers.
There you are.
But I've got like 897 watch hours, and that's where it kind of just sucks. Because like most of my videos are shorter, I'm going to start probably making some longer videos when I get back out in the field, and hopefully the watch time goes up. And
Lives really help, dude, on your watch time if that's what you're after. I mean, to start doing some lives.
well, I kind of I don't mind it. I mean, I kind of like getting used to the idea of being on other people's lives. And
Okay.
generally I don't even want to be in front of the camera, but I'm kind of making myself do it, but at the same time it's like, like what am I going to talk about? You know what I mean? I'm kind of like, you know, have you seen Chris Brogan? Have you killed Chris Brogan today? I mean that's what I'd be like. Just I don't know. I mean, I could probably Iron Dog's given me some good ideas to roll with, so I think I'm going to follow up on some of those and hook up with him before long and try to get him out in the field. and some collaborations and things. I definitely see that.
Yeah.
Iron Dog, thank you for the shout out on the link. Thank you. Um, yeah, DEA, why don't you have ads? Is that because you don't want to monetize? I mean, if I remember that, am I remembering that correctly?
Can't you get the prescription where or whatever subscription where you fucking don't have to watch ads anymore? Don't people have that shit too?
Well, I think DEA, and I don't want to, Andrew, I do not want to misquote you, but I want to say at one time we had talked about that, and I think you were not like big on the idea of monetizing. It is in protest, okay? Okay, DEA is protesting. I don't want YouTube to make money. Okay. Yeah, I've got some friends who had a podcast, and I bought a couple of super chats from them one night just because they were like kind of trying to raise money. And they were like these $5 super chats. And these guys have over 100,000 subs on their podcast. And they told me that they only saw like $1.67 out of that and that YouTube keeps the rest. And I'm sitting there going, good gosh, that's kind of yeah, crappy. But I mean, I also kind of understand it is what it is. That's one thing that I struggle with because I've been trying to like get hooked up on Blackbox and Shutterstock and all those stock video footage sites. And you make like half as much money, but you're like more likely to sell your video there than just some random producer going out and looking for it on YouTube, which is like the way, we did it back in the day.
Hmm. He says, when do you
Okay, Andrew. Fair enough. And hopefully we get to do that
think
soon.
about?
I feel bad for Andrew because like we were like scheduled the other
You're
night
welcome, dude.
and my wife was just like, go to bed. Like you're like and I'm like, why? She's like, well, you're like on the floor, go get in bed. I'm just like I'd had two days last week where I think I maybe slept 3 hours in 2 days kind of thing.
Yeah.
Just a lot going on. And it was crazy. And I definitely can understand where Andrew's coming from on that. Um, man, have you ever, Ball Python, have you ever talked to like someone who was like started a YouTube channel like 15 years ago, 10 years ago?
Dude, I'm a fucking stoner, so I don't know. Like, I've never asked, hey, when'd you make your channel? Like, I don't know, dude.
Well, I want to say Andrew may be able to fill this. Andrew's been around a long time. I want to say that used to you could like have like 500 subscribers and like no amount of watch hours, and you could still actually monetize and qualify. Or maybe it was 100. I don't know, but I know the bar keeps getting moved up, and then it sounds like YouTube, on things like super chats and things like that. It sounds like they're keeping some of the money anyway. And I mean, like I understand them keeping some of it, but like three-quarters of it just sounds crappy. So you know, I think I'm probably digging into where DEA is coming from, but
Yeah, but like Iron Dog says, YouTube can put ads on your videos and make money from you, not even or even if you're not monetized. So I mean, even if you have it on or off, if that's what he's saying, like they can still make money off of you. Like
yeah.
I get that.
Well, have you checked out? Has anyone here? Let me know in the comments, or Ball Python, you let me know if it's you. But has anyone checked out things like Rumble or BitChute Rate or any other platforms?
No.
because I've uploaded some videos to Rumble, and I haven't like made it like a full-time endeavor because YouTube is still just such a huge search engine that like I actually run two other YouTube channels besides my main snake video one.
Okay.
And one's of drone footage because I'm also like a drone enthusiast, and it's not and believe me, it's nothing I'm going to brag about or tell people to go sub to because I'm still kind of new. But I also have two other YouTube channels. One I actively upload to of footage from rattlesnake roundups that we go to document the animal cruelty that goes on there and things like that. And I kind of keep that one on the down low too because with the old channel I had that I started in 2012, a bunch of people like their hearts were like in the right place, but they would go out and flag my videos. And it's like, guys, read the disclaimer. I'm trying to expose the animal cruelty here. I'm trying to expose bad things that are happening. This is for awareness, not for glorification. And some people, just didn't get it. And so like I'd spend a lot of time doing appeals over videos that would never monetize over, work that I just needed a place to store. And these days I'm trying to, I buy hard drive after hard drive, and it's just I back everything up off YouTube because we never know what's going to happen with YouTube. I mean, Google could
What do
sell it
you?
next month.
Well, I mean, do you really? I mean, even if YouTube got sold, do you think it's really going anywhere? I mean, pretty much it's going to stay the same name. You're going to be able to go on there and still look up the shit. They might change some shit, their own way, but you're still going to be able to use it.
I think so. I mean, I think it's kind of like Facebook. It's probably people get mad at it, people hate it, people threaten to leave it, but ultimately people come back to it because it's just where so much content is centralized. But no, I think YouTube will be around in one form or another. But just the fact that it's really sitting bad with me that like I had some friends that set up a podcast and they worked it into the ground, built up 100,000 subscribers, and then one night they covered something that was controversial. Bam.
Yeah. Hey, I'm gonna drop the link though. DEA, if you want to jump on, dude, I'm just saying. I don't know if you said yes or no or what's going on, but if you want to jump on, dude, there's the link. Love to have you up here. Backing up your videos is smart, just in case your channel gets hacked or nuked. Yeah. I have everything on my phone still, so even if they delete everything, I'll just reload it all back up.
But let me ask you this, Ball Python, something else to think about because I've seen this happen to people. Do you have an iCloud account and you're backing it up on your phone and to the iCloud?
I have it on my phone, my laptop now,
Okay,
and
two
yeah,
places, two places to be safe. That's what I tell people.
and I know I have a cloud account. I just don't know how to really access it too well. I know that everything goes there, all the pictures and videos, but I don't know how much about it though. I don't really go
Yeah,
on it or OneDrive or whatever it's called. Yeah.
I'm the same way. I don't understand the whole cloud computing issue. Like once you take it like off a hard drive and it's not on like a little icon that I can see,
Yeah.
it just floats out of my mind. But
What's up, Mary? How are you doing?
hey, Mary. Hey, there's
Oh
Patty.
yeah.
Yeah, but I think YouTube is going to probably be with us for some time, and
Oh yeah, no, it's not going anywhere. I mean, even if they like once, this is my own opinion. Even if they sell it, like they're gonna change stuff around, but it's still gonna be there for you to access and do whatever you want with. But they're not gonna. Here, let me change this because I can't. After being told that day, like it just looks a lot better this way. There we go.
I kind of like that. Hey, Andrew,
How
how
you
are you
doing?
doing?
Hey, how you guys doing?
Good,
Hanging
good.
in there, man.
Yeah, would you like me to explain to you why I
I would love, yes.
okay. I have a spinal bifida, so I have a big group of spinal bifida people that I'm involved with on a whole bunch of groups. Okay, and
Okay.
this one person put up a video, started doing videos of their of their of their struggles they have, and this was way back in the day when you only needed 100 subscribers, you needed 0 watch time, and you could monetize.
Right. That's what I'm talking about.
And I was monetized at the time also. And it turns out that this guy was trying to get views and he couldn't get views. So I took a link from his thing and shared it to all these big groups. And he got like 100,000 views in one day. Well, he was monetized. So then YouTube decided, wait a minute, this guy must be doing something wrong. He must be, how is he getting all these views and only has 100 subscribers, And his subscriber count was counting. So they demonetized him and told him he couldn't have monetization no more. So out of protest, I refuse to get monetized.
And I think that's a good point, Andrew, because like, okay, me and you like actually go way back.
Yeah, I know.
And
Well,
like,
really
okay, like,
quick.
I
Bas-
mean, you remember like stuff like Urban Jungles Radio
Yes,
back
yes,
when
yes.
they did that, and not
Danny Menendez.
yeah,
So
Mendez, and like I would drive, from Tulsa to Sweetwater to get footage to upload it to YouTube
Mm-hmm.
to have 3 clicks, and it's delisted, it's in protest, it's flagged, or it's
Yeah,
saying
I've seen that. I've seen a couple of your videos from way back then, and yeah, I remember when some of them were taken down, and you really were upset about it.
right. I mean, it's kind of like this is the only way we knew how to expose things, and
Mm-hmm.
YouTube was still new at that point. And you're like, as if I remember correctly, like that was, Facebook was, I was new to Facebook back then.
Yeah.
And so, but you're like, this is the vehicle I have to upload this stuff. And I just drove 10 hours to get this video, and someone clicked on a mouse twice, didn't read the description. There's all kinds of other things out there.
Yeah.
Sea Shepherd has their videos on there.
Yep.
I mean, it's just
Yeah,
maddening.
it is, and they pick and choose now. Iron Dog Reptile said that they can put monetization on any of your videos, but they don't. They only put it on your what are they, the shorts, so they can make money off the shorts. But all you gotta do is curse one time, and they won't monetize it. If you curse on there, they're never gonna monetize, because nobody wants to be associated with monetization.
So what I was going to ask before Todd talked, basically you're saying, so this is what happened. This guy, you got, overnight 100,000 plus views. He blew up kind of quick. YouTube had a big problem with it, took his demonetization away from him, and told him to kick rocks, don't ever come back.
Pretty much. That's only because they thought he was trying to cheat the system and make money by cheating, I guess, their ad revenues or whatever it is. I don't even know what it's called anymore. That's how long ago it was. But I used to be monetized way back then too. And then I was like, well, then screw that. I'm not going to give them money.
Well, and do you remember Daily Reptile News with Jason White?
Yes. Jason White, right?
Yeah, I'm still in touch with him, although not nearly as often as we used to be.
Mm-hmm.
But I think he went through, I was going to say, going to start treading lightly here. I want to make sure I've got the story right, because I'm trying to pull this out of memory. But I want to say he kind of got into something where he didn't upload any videos for like 6 months or a period of time, a set period of time.
Mm-hmm.
And then he had like 4,000 subscribers, 400, 500 videos, and they demonetized him just because of like inactivity. And it's little things like that that kind of make you want to give YouTube the middle finger.
Well, you know what the problem is?
Oh, yeah.
YouTube's the only true platform there is. There's no other platform anywhere. I mean, they got the Vimeo and all that kind of stuff, but it's not the same thing. It's really not. Hey, Mary, how you doing?
I mean, there's a lot of knowledge when it comes to YouTube. I mean, yes, there's a lot of stupid bullshit videos. Trust me, I get it. But I mean, if you really want to learn something, I mean, you kind of learn from YouTube.
Yeah, YouTube. Yeah, no, I'm not. YouTube is a very powerful, very powerful. If you want to learn something, I mean, you can go in there and look it up and follow it. Fix a washing machine. You can go on there and look it up and do the exact thing you got. But I think it's only a matter of time before someone else comes up with something that is just as good, I guess. But I don't know how the monetization would work. But
Well, I tell you, I was just a part of something. And the only reason I'm going to talk about it now is because it is going to be taken down at, I think, midnight tonight.
Oh, that's fine.
But these guys who did this podcast that I was talking about, they went out and bought their own platform because they'd build up, they'd get 100,000 followers on YouTube, they'd get taken down.
yeah,
Then they'd get another 50,000, they'd start again, then they'd get taken down.
mm-hmm.
And just people just hate these people, and people flag their videos, and and so they went out and bought their own app.
Okay.
I mean, they technically did it. It's called Phoenix Social Video was the video side, and I won't say it was as good as YouTube, but it was probably one of the closest things compared to like what kind of videos I do, what kind of like lives we're doing here. The lives were every bit as good over there on Phoenix Social Video. But it's literally like, I think it may be up another day or two, and then they're pulling it because it just wasn't making them any money. But in the process of this, they set it up to where, like, if I click the button and send $5 to DEA Exotics or $10 to Ball Python Love, like they only kept like 2% of it, like a transaction fee.
Yeah. What's YouTube keep, like 40% or something
30,
like that? It's
30.
30. I knew it was. I don't know what it is. I just know it was up there. Yeah.
Well, and then that makes me wonder what they were doing to these guys, because when they were on YouTube, like I said, people would buy $5 super chats from them, and they would get $1.60 out of it. And
That's crazy.
That's more than that. That's like 60-70%, I think.
Yep. Well, that's like
From what I know from Iron Dog and Justin, they and I believe it. It's 30% because I mean you give like let's just say $100, they get 70. YouTube keeps 30. That's just
that could be for now, but if they got like 100,000 subscribers, that all might change. Like it might change as you grow. I don't know. I know like Boogie 2988. I don't know if you guys ever watch Boogie. He's got the Francis videos up there.
I know who you're talking about.
He was making a living doing that, and because he did controversial stuff like cursing and stuff like that, they demonetized all his Francis videos. And he has like 4 million subscribers, 5 million subscribers or something like that. And his channel's pretty much going way down now because of that. He was doing so good on YouTube. It's not like YouTube wasn't making money at it, because they were. But I don't know, whoever took over YouTube last decided to make some changes that was crazy.
Well,
it's just because you curse that really hurts your channel that bad, huh?
Oh, that's what they did. They demonetized him immediately. He can have monetization on non-Francis videos, but at the Francis videos, he can't. He's just, and that's where all his money came from, was from the Francis videos.
Well, and I don't think that they're consistent. I mean,
yeah, they overlook some people.
Well, like, not to bag the guy, because like he's a good friend of mine. But like Ori Martin, have you seen his Chased by a Nest of Cottonmouths video?
Mm-mm.
it's got like 3 million views or something. I did one similar to that. It wasn't as good as his. I'll totally give you that. I mean, that guy's a master video maker. Um, but he had like 30,000 subs, 20,000 subs, somewhere in there, and I had like 200. This was on an old channel, but I made a video that was similar. The content was similar, and mine got flagged and age restricted because it was dangerous activity. I was demonstrating how cottonmouths will not bite unless you absolutely provoke them. He goes and does the same thing, and he gets like 3 million views.
Mm-hmm.
And once again, I mean, I'm glad his video is up. Don't get me wrong; he's a great guy. Nothing but good things to say about him.
So here's something. Sorry, not to interrupt you, Todd, because
Yeah.
Iron Dog just had a really good point in the chat. So let me just say this. So the more subscribers you get, that's why they bleep themselves out. So what if I say, like, hopefully no child hears me, but fuck right now, like, is that going to come back to haunt me? Is this something I need to,
Probably not.
see?
I wouldn't think so. Matter. But if you say that in your videos, they won't monetize them, you see. Now this video could never be monetized because they would go through it. They actually have like bots that listen to it all, and then they pick out certain words, and then that's it. It's not, you can't monetize it no more if you curse in it and stuff like that.
Yeah, that sucks.
And I've heard of people losing monetization over saying something that sounds like a curse word, and the artificial intelligence or bot or whatever it is gets it wrong.
Yep.
So, I mean, it's just like, it can be maddening. I'll say that.
Yeah. And they definitely overlook things because there's some people out there who put a live feeding video up, taken down. You can't even see the video. Other people do, and it's like they don't say nothing. They don't care.
Yep.
I don't know what part of the rhythm you have to be in to be able to do that or something. But like there was one guy, I don't want to mention his channel because I don't know. He killed a bunch of rats, euthanized them with CO2, knocked them right out.
Okay.
That video, I think they would have loved to have thrown him in jail. It was crazy because what he was doing, he was just knocking them all out and then feeding them off to his snakes and stuff. Oh, it was crazy. Yeah. I don't know how they come up with who can do what and who can't do what. I don't know.
My beef with it is it seems like it's inconsistent. They'll know one person and then someone else will get away with it.
It might depend on where you're uploading the video from. Maybe they got different bots that your videos go through from whatever section that you live in or something, wherever you live, I don't know. It's strange, how they do everything that they do.
Yeah, I definitely agree because, like I said, the kind of video that I started doing was roundup footage.
Mm-hmm. I remember them. Yes.
Work a video camera so I could document that stuff because that was the plan back in the day. And then it's like some guy shows the same kind of video that I did, and has like 1 million views, 2 million views. It's not age restricted. It's not flagged.
They have a new system now. Every video, you just swear it's minor. You check.
Good to know, Hardwick.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Now, I got a question for you guys. How do you guys feel about this is going to be a reptile question, but how do you feel about the live feedings people do on YouTube? Do you think that brings a negative attention to the hobby in any way?
I'm just saying, DA, you sub to you are a subscriber of my channel.
Yep.
I do lives. Have you seen any other video of mine?
I wasn't saying this because I noticed that you've done live feedings. I wasn't paying attention to that. No, this has nothing to do with you personally. I didn't even know you did live videos. I don't spend a ton of time on YouTube other than when I'm doing YouTube myself, seriously. So I really did not even realize you did live videos, live feeds like that. I didn't realize that. So it
So I
wasn't nothing
actually
directed at you personally,
no,
no.
no, no. I'm not. That's the only
Huh?
reason I brought it up. I'm not saying that you're directing it towards me at all. I'm not saying anything like that. But like, no, I do live feedings. Does it hurt the community? In a way, yes, but in a way, no. Here's why. Let me explain. Yes, it hurts the community for all those, just being real Karens, all crybaby snowflakes out
Mm-hmm.
there. They're gonna cry and bitch and complain about everything.
Yep.
But there's going to be people out there that only get 1 or 2 ball pythons, and they only know how to go to Petco or somewhere like that and get a mouse or a rat, something like that, and feed
Mm-hmm.
live, because they're not doing like right now I have 10 ball pythons, but to make it like less hurtful, I'm sending, once I get more rats producing now. Yeah, I've had about like around 40 babies already. Eventually they'll go into freezer camp and I'll do frozen thawed, but it kind of helps, because those people don't know, like, especially when they're new to the hobby and they first get their first like snake, they need to know about, live feedings in a way. I feel, and this is why, because you bought your snake to love your snake.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you didn't buy it to be like, yeah, I got a snake and not ever feed it. That's just fucked up, just to be real. So with that being said, like, you need to know, like, if in my videos, like when I have to, because I do live feedings in the moment. Eventually, hopefully, they'll transition to frozen thawed. But I will reach my hand in there every time and hold that mouse or rat's head back, like, so there's no biting, because that bite could fuck your snake up pretty quickly.
Oh yeah, I've been around forever. I know what the heck that
Yeah.
can happen. I've seen a lot of stuff happen. But what I was going to say is that that used to be my, not doing live videos or nothing of it, but that used to be what I loved watching them kill the animals. I did, watching a snake kill an animal or something. But then like now I look at all this stuff that they're trying to do, and I think that if they're trying to find something bad about an animal, they're
Yeah.
going to show that stuff. That's what they're going to pull out. They're going to be like, look at this, how dangerous this animal is. If it can do this to this, it could do this to your cat or your dog or your kid. I mean, that's what I was referring to.
Well, let me interrupt you right there, because
Yep.
I've got something along those lines. I was talking to an old friend of mine from the zoo, the one
Mm-hmm.
that here in Tulsa that I volunteered at when I was a teenager, and he said that they wanted to take. They opened a new Asia exhibit, all animals from Asia:
Mm-hmm.
tigers, snow leopards, Komodo dragons,
That's
Mm-hmm.
dope.
and they wanted to hang a leg of like a cow, which is what they're going to feed the Komodo dragon,
Mm-hmm.
and like let the public watch the feeding. The I don't want to say I know for sure like who nuked it, but someone up high in the zoo said, "No, we're not going to do that with Komodo dragons." Then they turn around and do it with tigers. They
See,
let
that makes no sense, because honestly,
Yeah.
like you just said,
with a tiger,
but
but we're not
it's
going to do
just
it with Komodo dragons. And I'm sitting there going, what's the difference? I
there
mean,
is. That's what I don't understand. There's no difference, because, like you said, it was just the leg. It wasn't the whole, cow. You said, right? So like, it's
Yeah.
not
right.
like you're doing a live feeding. You're just feeding it, and that's for people to watch. Like, I'm not saying no one's gonna ever probably really own a Komodo dragon. Don't get me wrong, but you might get a tiger one day. You never fucking know.
In Oklahoma, you'll get a tiger if you're in Oklahoma.
Go to China once. They throw a real live animal in with the tigers to watch it kill it. I mean, it's crazy. But yeah,
I
no,
agree. There's the wolf. Go ahead.
I agree. I don't understand the difference. Is it because it's got fur? That's my main thing. It must have fur. But I think
Like,
it's more interesting to watch a reptile eat than a tiger or something.
yeah,
Right.
like, don't get me wrong. Like, I do feel bad. Like, especially like breeding the rats now. Like, it kind of sucks that I got to do it, but I'd rather them, I have to make sure they eat and all that, but I can't wait because I still try. I'll go out and buy a frozen thawed once in a while. I'm not saying every time, but I have tried quite recently, quite a bit. And I'll try to offer one of them, and none of them have taken yet. Eventually one will, and I'll be like, sweet, you're always on frozen thawed.
Yeah.
But Like, but until then, like, it sucks, dude. It does suck to see, for me personally, for a rat to die. It's a little fucked up, but it kind of helps the community, but it kind of hurts at the same time.
Yeah.
That was your question, right?
Yeah, basically, yeah.
So, I mean, yes, it kind of helps, but it kind of hurts.
But how much of that is played into by it being a snake?
Well, see, even if you
A
would have
lot.
take like a monitor or a tegu and you gave it a live chick, like people are gonna find that like, oh, that's messed up. You just fed your monitor or your tegu like a live chick. Like, what's up, Hilljack? How you doing? Go ahead,
Yeah.
EA. My bad.
Feed a Nile monitor a mouse once or something, or a chick, and see how violent that is.
Well, exactly. But then here's Nat Geo on YouTube, and four lions are taking down a gazelle and ripping it
Yeah,
open.
I know. It doesn't make sense to me.
It doesn't make sense. It's like reptiles are singled out.
Bam! Right there. There's the
Yep.
real damn question.
That's what I was getting at.
Yep. Yeah, no, it's completely one-sided. I think it's because more people have cats and dogs and stuff, and they're really trying to weigh the balance towards that direction so they can slowly take everything away.
Yeah.
And it's easier to they're finding it harder, but it's easier for them to isolate one thing and work on it. But they're finding out that more and more people have reptiles than they thought, I think, and they're fighting back. People are fighting back, so.
Well, was it in the movie Herpers? I want to say that someone gave a statistic. It wasn't Kaufman. It was I want to say it was the former editor of Reptiles who passed away. Reptiles.
Yes, magazine. I know exactly what you're going to say.
Okay, then say it.
That more people get killed by horses and bees and stuff like that. Then is that the statistic you're talking about?
No, it was something like 4.3 million homes have a reptile pet now.
Yes, okay, that one.
And people, and people don't. I don't think people realize, how many people are actually into this.
Mm-hmm.
And and like I've got a neighborhood Facebook page where I live, and man, it is Karen Central.
Oh, I could just imagine.
That bitch driving the black car drove 27 miles an hour, and I had my husband's radar gun, and he's a cop, so don't tell me, and you get all this stuff. But then, like, I hate to sound, I don't want to sound sexist, but this may sound sexist. But then the hot lady who sells real estate that everybody knows and loves posts a picture of her ball python and says, does anyone have a source for rodents in the Tulsa area? Mm-hmm. The lady, I got them from Quit. And then it's like magically, here's the lady that all the other women want to look like, all the guys want to date, blah, blah, blah. She has a snake. Oh my God,
Yeah.
It's becoming far more normal. I mean, 40 years ago, you told someone you had a pet snake. I mean, they would just look at you like
you're crazy. Yeah. Oh no, I know.
Yeah, you're crazy. You're in cahoots with the devil.
That's like Facebook. You can't even mention, like, does anybody have a rat? Because then they're like, whoa. They're so crazy on Facebook. I posted a picture of a cactus in my cactus group I have and said I have some cactus, they're little cactuses that grew off it. And I said, does anybody want any? I'll send them to you. And they're like, you can't do that. It's dogs. I'm like, what? I mean, they blocked the whole post because they thought it was dogs, that I was trying to refer to dogs or something. I'm like, no, it's a cactus. And I even had pictures of it up. It was a cactus. I don't know. But I know my buddy started a forum. It's identical to Facebook. I swear, you go on there, it looks just like it's called reptileroom.org, and it's all animal based. You can post pictures, videos. You can go on there and you can sell your animals and do whatever you want on there. And it's identical to Facebook. And he did a great job with it. It's called the reptileroom.org.
The Reptile Room?
Yes, the reptileroom.org.
So,
Because
like, I don't know.
he got sick of getting booted off Facebook for stuff. So he's like, screw this. And he wrote the whole program. Looks just like Facebook.
I don't really ever use Facebook, so, but I could see the negativity in reptiles. Like, to be honest with you, everyone that I invited over that works with me never came over because they are afraid to meet the snakes.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I'm like, they're not venomous. They're like, you don't know that. I'm like, how did the fuck? Like, I'm like thinking in my mind. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, no, I just don't know. I'm like, let's just try it out. It's a ball python.
We'll let it bite you first and see if you die.
I don't know. I've had really dumb responses. I'm like, really?
That's like my town. I'll tell you. My wife and I, we used to do school programs. We used to take we'd take all our snakes, not all our snakes, but we'd take about 100 snakes up to the school and to the nursing homes and to the hospitals and stuff. And we were doing this thing. Well, the local newspaper people heard about it and they're like, wow, this guy's doing good because we got good reviews. People were so happy to have that, right? And they turn around and they're like, well, let's come out and do an interview with him. So they kept trying to get me to do an interview. And I was like, nah, I really would rather not. Well, they just kept it up and kept it up. After a year, I'm like, fine, come on over. And they're like, well, could you show us what you do? So I brought a bunch of animals out in the yard, had a table set up, and they come and they interviewed me. Well, the mayor of my town was like, wait a minute. They're going to get out and come up the toilet and bite me in the ass. Well, I fought the city for 2 whole years, twice. And I had to win twice. It was bad, but it was a big thing. Yeah. So now I try not, I don't show too much. I mean, I will. I know there's people on YouTube that see my stuff that live in town here or whatever, but I try not to go out of my way to bring attention to the situation because it could be bad for no reason whatsoever.
Oh yeah. Yeah, no, my coworkers don't like the fact. I know it. I can see it. I've been told some stupid ass reasons why they won't come over and check out the snakes. And they're like, "Oh, we'll come over this Saturday." I'm like, "What happened? Hit them, once we see each other on Monday." Oh, well, I'm like, yeah.
My wife is like, none of my relatives will come over and stay the weekend because you have your snakes. And I'm like, isn't it freaking awesome?
There's the Motel 6 right down the road.
And then it's like, yeah, I'm on the couch for 2 nights, but hey, it's what happens.
I know when I first started dating my wife, she was terrified of snakes. And then I showed her my reptile room, and then she was like, I don't know, man. And then she got around to it. She's fine with it now, but
mine's
26 years ago, it wasn't easy.
Yeah, it's definitely not it's becoming more of a traditional thing. It's you're gonna if you're in your 20s or 30s, you're gonna date someone or know someone or been friends with someone whose kid had a ball python or a leopard gecko
or something along those lines. Yeah,
something along those lines. And and to me, it's great that it's becoming more normal because. I mean, there was a time where it was just, and they're trying to get it back to that time. I've told the story where we had to drive out of Tulsa County to buy a ball python in the late 1980s because in Tulsa County they were dangerous exotic.
Oh, were they really?
Yes. And so everyone went to Sapulpa because there's a pet store across the county line in Sapulpa. And it's just like how tattoos used to be illegal in Oklahoma.
Yeah, that wasn't even that long ago.
No, it wasn't. But the biggest tattoo parlors in Arkansas, Missouri, and Texas, 2 minutes across the state line.
Yeah.
Because they're getting the business from Texas and Oklahoma. And, but at the same time, it's like, there was a time where you couldn't sell a leopard gecko. You can sell a ball python.
Mm-hmm.
And today we have 2 or 3 different local expos that are kind of, ball python, leopard gecko, crested gecko stuff. No hot shows, unfortunately. But at least we have that. So I try to get out and support them every once in a while. And
With Oklahoma there, with the hot shows, it's kind of not having any. It's kind of strange because I could go out. There's breeders right there that breed um, uh, Gila monsters and stuff, and locally, right there where you live. I know that for a fact.
oh yeah,
And I could go get a whole bunch of those.
well, the funny thing about Oklahoma is like municipalities can enforce ordinances. So, like in your major urban areas like Tulsa and Oklahoma City, like
Yeah.
you can't keep a venomous reptile of any kind. Now they can be down there in the park, in Tulsa County, but you can't have one in a cage. You can't have one in a locked enclosure. But your kid could step on one at the park.
Yeah.
And to me it makes absolutely no sense. But you get outside of those urban areas, and you have things like the Tiger King going on,
Yep.
where people have exotic cats, zebras. People raise ostriches out east. That's a big thing. I guess there's a market for the meat. And then we have those god awful rattlesnake roundups in Oklahoma and in Texas.
Yeah, that bothers me. The rattlesnake roundups bother me.
Oh, they bother me quite a bit too.
I mean, that's one thing. They put them poor animals through hell. They go out and gather them up first off, and the means that what they gather them in is kind of uh, very, very cruel. And then they keep them in a box, sometimes for months. And then they take them over and dump them in that pit, and then they torture them all weekend just to cut their heads off, which is kind of
Well, look at the Texas blackout in February.
yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
think about this.
Oh, sorry. No, I was reading the comments. I just saw Patty's and Iron Dog actually answered. See, I found actually a blue-eyed Lucy near me that's locally. I'm just saying because I look around all the time. But $400 for blue-eyed Lucy for me. I thought about it. Female. I said no.
But getting back to what I was saying, Andrew, is a lot of those snakes in Texas are collected in January,
Mm-hmm.
February. They were in boxes in people's garage when the power went out.
Oof.
And so like a lot of the roundups I'm hearing that actually happened didn't catch that many snakes. And I'm sitting there thinking, no, they probably caught about what they normally did. They just froze in people's garages.
What I want to know is how long is it going to be before they can't maintain that level of gathering of them snakes like that? I mean, it's only a matter of time before it really starts to decimate the population.
It's bullshit that they even do it. Like seriously, like them for to go out and be like, oh, you shouldn't be able to own this, but it's okay for the government to go out and like kill them off and pay people, get people to go out and like you said, do the roundups of rattlesnakes and just basically just starve them for months on end and eventually throw them in, torture them, and just to cut their heads off. Like that's bullshit. Like, but it's wrong for us to study and know them or like if you want to have one, or if Todd or if myself wants to have one, like it's against or it's bullshit. People hate on you that are against reptiles, but it's okay for them to be like, oh, well, at least they put that snake down that could hurt my kid. Your kid isn't going to be in the middle of the desert. First off, if it's around somewhere you live, outside the city, suburban area, like I kind of understand where you live, but yeah.
Well, how many people are actually seriously where they could do these big roundups? How many people are actually killed by rattlesnakes every year?
Not very many,
Nah.
especially here.
Well,
I know even the copperheads and stuff. I mean, when I was in Manford, my daughter was running. She ran across the driveway and it looked like a stick laying there, but it didn't even move when she ran across it. It was like, oh shit, like there's people here. So I caught it and released it in a safer area, but I was like, I don't know.
The thing that I try to get people to understand, because like I've been involved in this issue so dang long, now a lot of the people involved in these hunts like we used to fight with them back on the day. We'd go troll their page, they'd troll ours.
Mm,
We'd fight each other. I'm going to kick your butt. You're going to kick my butt, blah, blah, blah. Now it's just like, oh, hey, Pete has showed up,
yeah.
And then, I'll help you get the shots you need if you send a picture to my Uncle Louie in Ohio. And I'm like, things are much less tense now. But back in the 30s and 40s when these hunts began, there wasn't anti-venom all over the place.
Yeah.
And there weren't hospitals in these rural areas. And today we have better access to those.
Yeah, there's no need for these.
Right. But at the same time, with the Western Diamondback, very few people can show where there's a sharp decline in the population. I mean, herpers are still finding by the dozens. They're still out there. And one ranch in Okeen, Oklahoma gets hunted every year and has been hunted for 80 years. And they still pull 200 to 300 pounds of Atrox off it every year. And I'm sitting there going, do these guys just breed more because they're being collected? There's more food.
They're not welcome.
Right.
Yeah, it is strange. Mm-hmm. I know my cousin has a farm not far from here, and it's like everywhere you look, there's prairie rattlesnakes all over the place. And when he used to live on there, he doesn't live on there no more. He just has it. When he used to live on there, they used to poison them and shoot them and you name it. And still to this day, you can walk out there and you got to watch everywhere you walk because they're all over.
Right.
So where they come from, I don't know where they're all hiding at.
Oh,
He's got to have a den around there somewhere.
Oh, yeah, there's a den.
But the roundups are bullshit, and they should stop that shit.
I think they should stop because
we all know they won't. Let's just be real. They probably won't stop that shit for another 20 years or so at least. But once the population gets down so low, they're going to be like, "Oh well, we fucked up." Yeah, and it's going to be too late.
Well, the eastern diamondback hunts have technically.
But there's going to be. You don't think there's going to be species they wipe out fully?
No, I don't. Now, except in the West, no. With the eastern diamondback, there were 3 roundups remaining in the eastern United States. There's Opp, Alabama, Whigham, Georgia, and Claxton, Georgia. Claxton went to no wild collection, all humane, no kill, totally educational show. Whigham was going to go that way this year, but COVID got it. And I want to say Jason Clark, if you guys know him, he's been around. He was going to quarterback the effort to bring in, captive snakes to show off to people, which left Opp, Alabama, which is the only one that still hunts eastern diamondbacks. Now, I think with the eastern diamondbacks, the situation is dire. With what I see in the western roundups is right now Texas has 6 of them. Oklahoma has 7. The only one anyone ever hears about is Sweetwater, Texas.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, in 1980, Texas had over 40 rattlesnake hunts. There's less people hunting them today than there were 40, 50 years ago. There's less people living in the country. I mean, when I go to Texas, when my friends go to Texas, they still see a lot of Atrox. I don't think the Western hunts will wipe them out. I think, honestly, that they are going to disappear from the landscape. Then they have been. If you look back through history and study how many used to be there, it's, used to every town in Texas had one. And now it's there's 6 left and 2 of those are hanging on by a thread. So I think another 10 or 20 years, there might be 1 or 2 of them left. And that's from decades of going to these things, taking cameras in, interviewing hunters. I mean, one thing that's the one thing that I feel like I do know in the realm of the reptile world is what happens at roundups.
Yeah, you've done a lot of documentation on it, so I'm sure.
I mean, I have, and that's why I go nuclear when some 15-year-old kid tells me I don't know what he's talking about, and he is in Australia.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's just I don't think they're going to wipe out the atrox at all. I really don't. I think they've hurt some localized populations for sure, but there's still a lot of land where they're not hunted. Thousands of acres of oil leases, national parks, things like that, that people generally don't get to access. And I found some atrox, Andrew, not too far from where me and you live, and it's not a documented range map site.
Yeah, I was going to say that. They say there isn't many there. They're not supposed to be there or something. I don't know. That's like here, prairie rattlesnake, they say ain't supposed to be here either, but they find them.
Yeah,
I see herpers go out and find them, and then they take pictures, but they won't technically tell you exactly where it was at because they don't want people going around and bothering it. But they find them here, and they're like, "Well, they're not supposed to be there. They're not supposed to be, but they are."
we see 30
Maybe.
minutes south of Tulsa. I mean, I won't give the specific location, but we started I started seeing pictures online of, we expect timber rattlesnakes to be there. We expect pygmy rattlesnakes to be there. We don't expect western diamondbacks to be there.
Mm-mm.
But then you think there's some over in Arkansas. There's these little adjunct populations in Arkansas. And so I'm sitting there thinking, these probably have been there for hundreds of years and just nobody ever went that deep in the woods, found out the site. And I'm not telling anybody because, one, I don't want people going in there killing them. Two, I don't want herpers who have a scientific collection permit to go in there and snag them for a range extension, because that's a big deal with a lot of the field herpers. And in Oklahoma, you still have to euthanize the animal.
That's like Dave Kaufman found all those albino water moccasins, and he would not tell where he saw them at. But he filmed it, but he wouldn't tell nobody because he doesn't want people going out and bothering them and collecting them and things like that. But now over by the Manford over there, the neighbor over there caught a was it a timber rattlesnake? And they said they weren't over there or something, like they weren't supposed to be there, but he found one.
Timbers are in Manford. That's kind of well established. They're not often seen, but they are there.
Yeah. And maybe that's what it was. Maybe they weren't seen much, and they were all. There are a lot of copperheads over there, though.
Oh yeah, copperheads are just rampant over there. And I actually this last year was the first year I didn't go do copperhead relocations in that area, because so many people were calling about them. So many people were, and so many of those people flake on you. It's like you drive 30, 45 minutes to get over there, get a friend, get a couple snake hooks, get the buckets.
Yeah.
And then they're like, well, my boyfriend called and he was at the bar and I had to go get him, so I couldn't meet you, and stuff like that. And so I just kind of like, copperheads, you're on your own, because once again, they're so dense over there. And they breed at like 2 to 3 years old. So it's not something like the timber rattlesnake where it has to be 7, 8 years old to breed, to become sexually mature. And, it's like, I know people who have been killing 50 copperheads a year on their property, and they still see 50 copperheads every year.
Oh, I know. My father-in-law's dog got bit by one, and, he was big and dead against all reptiles down there, so he would kill them all. But then when we were down, I found that one right in the driveway. That's the one my daughter walked over when it was stretched out. So we, I relocated. That was little, though. You see, it's still got the green tail.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, precious.
So here's a better picture of it.
One sec. Give me a second.
Yep, no problem. Let me see. I could probably find a. Let me see.
I was gonna say, wow.
Just to to explain to you how small that was. That was a little, this little white cup right there. that little white thing right here.
Mm-hmm.
That is a frosting container for frosting for your cake.
Okay.
Okay.
So that thing was real small, but they have them there. They're, the one my father-in-law that bit his dog was about 3 foot long. It was a good sized one, But we always went looking for stuff. That's the only snake I found when I was there. The only one I found lots of scorpions and stuff and tarantulas, but that was the only snake.
Yeah, I was trying to find one night we were on the other side of town over by Coeta, and we found 25 copperheads. We caught 25 copperheads in one night, and they were all doing the cicada rush, where they go
There
to
you
the
go.
trees
Oh, eat the cicadas.
to prey on baby cicadas. And I was trying to find that picture. And I may just not have it somewhere where I can find it, but yeah, that's a good herping hotspot over there for your basics.
Yo,
Copperheads,
Totes.
hognose, rat snakes.
Yeah.
And
Really quick. Totes, welcome to the live stream. I appreciate you being here for your first time. Please like and subscribe. Like, if you really want to know more about reptiles, I mean, we talk about it every night. Sometimes we'll go off subject, talk about guns or sports, but for majority of it, it's reptiles. We're right there for you guys. Also, go subscribe to DEA, and go also to Todd. Go over, show him some love, even that his real name's not Chris, even though it's showing up there. So.
yeah, my name's a joke. Don't anyone take that seriously. Yeah, look at this, Andrew.
Yeah.
That's not showing up real well. Hang on. That's an albino ringneck snake.
Whoa. I remember you showed me that before.
Yeah.
You were excited about that. Didn't your friend have that or something?
A friend of mine had it and it died on him.
No.
Yep.
What was good about where we were at over there in Manfred is we had a little stream that went through we had, there's 3 acres there, and they had a stream that went down through the hills there, and a lot of leaf cover and stuff like that. But it was, it was a lot of fun though. I looked every day. I would always find a tarantula or a scorpion. They had these little red scorpions there that were not like the bark scorpions, because I've seen a lot of bark scorpions, that's like the striped bark scorpions.
Right.
But then they had these little ones that were little red ones. Oh, there we go. Lots of copperheads there.
I think there's 15.
Now, are you able to keep copperheads there with no problems? Do you have to have permits for it or something? I mean, maybe not, in your in Tulsa or something, but do you have to have a permit or anything? That's what I'm asking.
Outside of what Oklahoma law allows you to do, and a lot of people have different interpretations of that, but it says any non-threatened native species, you can collect 6 of a day. You can have 6 in your possession in one day.
Okay.
Okay, now rattlesnake season is from March 1st to June 30th. And you can have an unlimited number of any rattlesnake, timbers, diamondbacks, prairies, western Massasauga. I think the pygmy is not included in that. The western pygmy is not included. But it also doesn't say you have to turn them in at a roundup. Or, so my understanding is the game department isn't going to mess with you if you're keeping 10 copperheads unless you're in the city and you get out. And I think if you're in city limits, you have to have specific permits.
Yeah.
The game department comes out, they inspect your caging, they make sure that you know how to lock your cage, and then they sign off on it, and you pay $25 a year for the permit. I can tell you there's like a huge venomous underground in like Tulsa and Oklahoma City. There's a lot of people with, monocled cobras in their basements and stuff. And, and I don't care much for the exotic side, because if and when I do get bit, I mean, knock on wood, it hasn't happened yet. But, I want to know there's anti-venom at the local hospital. And
you want it to be something local. Yeah.
and that I'm not going to be like in the position of they can let me die or they can go rob the zoo. And what people don't understand about, like, when the hospital has to rob the zoo of their exotic antivenom, that keeper doesn't get it replaced until the next budget year rolls over.
Yeah, so it's putting them in danger then. I got you. I
Right.
understand that.
And so that's why I'm kind of, I don't say I'm against exotic venomous ownership. I think there's a responsible way to do it. You know,
Now, where we lived at over there, we were in Manford. We were outside of Manford. My kids went to the Manford school, but we were on 3 and 4 acres out there. But I never thought of keeping one. But I often thought to myself after I left there, I was like, I wonder if they would have ever said anything if I had a shed and kept them, And
no, that you'd probably never got questioned about it, unless you made it known.
yeah, which I would never. That's not what I would do anyway.
Right.
I would do it for my own personal enjoyment of having them,
And
Yeah.
copperheads can be fun. I mean, I think if you're going to get into hots, I think you should kind of start with a copperhead because their venom is fairly weak. They're not. I mean, they're not going to kill you 9 out of 10. The few fatalities that have been documented from copperheads seem to have the common theme of people either can't take the antivenom or they refuse medical treatment.
Yeah.
Your snake handling preachers, some of them get killed by copperheads out east in the Appalachians.
Yeah.
And, and then people like one guy died in Missouri from a copperhead bite, and he didn't want to go to the hospital because he couldn't afford he heard how expensive snake bites were, and he couldn't afford to pay it. But I'd rather be alive and have medical bankruptcy on my record
Oh, yeah.
than be dead. And he
Yeah.
pretty much chose to be dead.
Crazy.
Crazy world.
Yeah. Yep.
I
No,
mean,
I often thought about it. If I still lived there, I would definitely have some copperheads. I think because they're so cool. They're first off, they're a very attractive looking snake, and second off, they're pretty. I don't know. There's just something about their pattern, the way they move, how they look like. If you threw a good leaf litter in a cage or made it look, they would look really nice in there. Because I know, like this one here, it wasn't easy to see.
right. And
So
they're a very pretty snake when they first shed too.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the ones you see in the field are kind of like in mid-cycle, and they've got some dinge to them.
Mm.
But when they first shed, they are shiny. And even the normal ones we have around here are just beautiful snakes.
Yeah. Is there so down there, is there only the one species of copperhead in the state, or is there?
We've got the broadband and we've got the eastern.
Okay.
And where you were at in Manford and most of Tulsa is known as the intergrade zone, where you will have copperheads with characteristics of both species.
Yeah.
And you'd have to probably get into, like, I have friends out there that can look at them and ID them, and that's intergrade. That's a Tulsa County Eastern. That's a Tulsa County Broadband. I'm not that good anymore.
Yeah, I wouldn't know. That's why when I caught this one, I would have known what it was. But it was really nice. And then I'm thinking to myself, it was so small. You wonder how many others were there, like how old it was, because it was so tiny. It makes you wonder if there was how many more were there that I didn't even see.
Well, we went to that yard that one night, and you've seen that picture of the copperhead on the tree where the tree is gray and the copperhead almost looks gray.
Mm-hmm.
And we just this guy was like going to kill any that he found that we didn't take with us. And we were just like snake hooking him off the tree. Like, oh, there's one, ching. There's another one, ching, And it was like, there were, I think it was 25 that night. and he'd already
Wow.
killed a couple of adults by the time we got there, because the adults will come out to feed on cicadas too if they can catch them,
Yeah.
whereas the young ones will shoot up the trees. But we were able to save some lives. We took him about a half mile down the road and released him, although we told him it was a mile. I think it was a half mile. But living where he's living, I told him, dude, get some boots because you're just going to have copperheads. I mean,
Yeah.
you don't. It's kind of like some areas you live in. You're going to have certain species, and they're going to be in abundance, and there's nothing you can do.
Well, apparently, where our place was at, there was a lot of them there. Everybody was always finding them everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah, they. I follow, Manford, community pages because my wife's from there.
oh, is she?
Yeah, and we're getting ready to move back into that area, actually,
Ah,
because she wants to live like closer to her mom, and it's going to be a good thing because we'll be close to family. We won't have to drive, and I'll be closer to my herping spots. So there's an ulterior motive. So if she starts coming with this plan, I'm like,
that works. That
honey,
works.
I'm into this. Yeah, but but it's literally people see 10 and 15 copperheads a day over there. But there's a lake. There's big rocks.
Keystone Lake.
Keystone Lake. There's big rocks. There's areas to sun. There's areas where that aren't bothered by people. There's a lot of areas over there that you can only access by boat. I'd like to have someone with a boat drop me off on one of those islands with all the rocks and let me herp that thing for 8 hours and then come back and pick me up at the end of the day. I think that'd be the ultimate.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah.
Well, I'm trying to think of what where Tarleton is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, we lived on that road, that right off that road coming from Manford to Tarleton's, where we lived at. There's a church down there. We were like behind this big old church.
Right.
It was pretty neat.
I know exactly where you're talking about.
So, not far from the lakes and all that fun stuff. So, yeah, no, it was pretty cool. I enjoyed it down there.
Yeah, it's a good place.
What kind of ball python was that?
Cinnamon vanilla. No.
Cinnamon vanilla. Got any breeding plans coming up?
To be honest with you, I have 2 males ready. I have no females ready.
Oh, how big are the females?
Closest one is probably weighing in at like 480.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no, I got a minute.
Yeah. Yeah, I know, like Mutation Creation, he'll breed them at 1,200 grams. So I was going to say, if they're a good healthy size like that, you can do it. But 400 grams ain't going to cut it yet.
No, I still got quite a ways to go.
Yeah.
I can't wait, though. I don't know. I'll tell you what I got, though. I got a cinnamon vanilla male that you just saw. I got a female pied het orange ghost. I have a pinstripe spider orange dream. I have a yellow belly. I have a pastel double het ghost clown, a pinstripe, a banana inchy het pied, a male pied, 100% orange ghost as well. I have a normal female. I have a male cinnamon fully grown. He is my big boy. He weighs about 2,800 grams, something like that. I don't know, somewhere around there. Last time I checked. Who else do I have that I'm forgetting? I think that's about it. If I'm forgetting one, my bad.
Mm-hmm. So, Todd, what's your plans for your next big snake hunt, I guess you could call it, or herping trip?
I plan to get out this week. We've been seeing snakes down here off and on for the first one was seen in southern Oklahoma in January. It was a rattlesnake. That was before the big snow hit.
Oh,
So they come out to bask on sunny days, even when the weather's not not ideal. But I'm going to try and make it out this week and get down south of Tulsa to like the swamps where I find cottonmouths and things, and just cruise around and see what it looks like. Flip a few rocks, nothing serious. Um, I definitely want to shoot a good solid week's worth of video. Um, this season. I've got about 3 weeks from last year. I haven't processed yet. Kind of jumped into the shorts thing because that kind of seemed like the way to do things
well,
for a while.
you get your subscribers at least. You can get a lot of subscribers doing them, and then when they see you do better full length videos, they'll be like, "Whoa," because you do
Yeah,
good stuff. So
but I'm going to definitely be out this spring. Now, at some point, if they ever get my dang house finished, I'm going to move.
mhm.
But that's been a nightmare. It's like, well, the wood was supposed to come in to finish the back deck, but someone at the factory got COVID, so the plant got shut down for 2 months.
My son was just telling me, he's trying to build a shed, and he's like, I can't even get the wood. I'm like, why not? He's like, because every time I go over there, if they do have it, it's triple the amount, or COVID shut the factory down. I'm like, oh,
Right, and it's just constant stuff like that, and I'm not, I mean, these things happen, you know, but at the same time, I'm kind of like, okay, if we can't pack or take things to storage or do anything this week, I'm going to be gone on Friday.
yeah.
But
So,
this week is probably going to be the first week I actually get out and seriously flip some rocks. Right now, it's perfect for milk snakes.
so cool.
A lot of people don't realize that you can find those guys in like 30-degree weather, 40-degree weather. It
They
gets
can
above
handle it really well.
it gets above freezing. Your fossorials start coming to the top. All of them, rough
Mhm.
earths, western worm snakes, and and I wouldn't mind flipping a milk. I saw one in the wild for the first time last year.
I remember the video.
Yep, and that was it's an interesting day. And Kevin took this one rock, I took the other, and Kevin got the milk snake, and I got a ring neck, and I was so mad.
I know. The bull snakes. I always look for bull snakes when I'm out places. They're cool. I like bull snakes. Did you hear about the one they found in Texas that was scaleless?
No.
Yes, they will not. The person who found it will not release, or they did release it. Was it Tech? No, it was Kansas, and they found a scaleless bull snake dead on the side of the road. It was just a baby. And I says, I wonder how many people in the spring now are going to be there gathering up all the bull snakes they can, thinking they're going to pick up the genetics that can produce a scaleless bull snake.
Right.
Because, there's none in existence. And if there's one, that one has siblings. Because it was just a baby when they found it, but it was dead and had no scales. So, and they said exactly what road it was on and what county it was in. And I'm like, that thing's going to be swarming with people in the
Yeah.
spring here.
Well, a friend of mine found a copperhead in Oklahoma, and it had half its pattern.
Okay.
And Brian Barchak even shouted this guy out. And this guy is like hardcore field herper. I want nothing to do with captive reptiles.
Yeah.
I won't collect anything. And I mean, he's nice about it. He doesn't like hate on people, but he's just like that type that will not collect anything, period.
Yeah.
Unless he's going to like release it like 2 days later or something. But like Brian Barchuk shouted him out and like got his name screwed up, and this is funny. But this copperhead looks like a normal copperhead from its tail to halfway down its spine, and then it just all goes into stripe, and it's crazy. I'll send you a picture of it when I dig it up, Andrew.
Yeah.
It's hot.
Yeah, yeah. Well, then you wonder how many people, if they found out exactly where that was at, would go around and collect them all, trying to make a patternless copperhead or trying to make a striped one or something. You know, that's the stuff. We find stuff. That's why, like I said, that guy up here found these ones not too far from here, and he won't tell anybody where he found them because he doesn't want a million people going there
That's good.
gathering up the stuff.
No,
And
that's
that's
good because go ahead.
I was just gonna say. Sadly, some people, I have no problem saying I legally and I feel ethically have no problem with collecting like a wild bull snake, wild rat snake. Like if
Yeah.
I need one or a friend needs one or something,
Mm,
you know, I mean, they're not endangered. It's legal. Um, would I take 20 of them? No.
no.
I mean, but it's just like, some species people gripe about collecting. You see three DORs,
Yep.
which for anyone new, DOR in reptile terms means dead on road. You'll find, last time I was out in Stillwater, we found several bull snakes. We found one timber rattlesnake, some rat snakes, and we were looking for western hognose or plains hognose or dusky hognose or whatever
Hmm.
they are. And we found two DOR, and it's just like we didn't find any alive. But, you kind of get the idea that honest, ethical collection isn't a problem. It's habitat destruction, it's over collection. And
Yeah.
and most people I know in the reptile show world know the characters in this area that do that kind of stuff, and they block him from groups, or they let him set up at a show and then they run him out of the show after he sets
Yeah.
up and stuff like that.
What's good about what you do is you go out and you show and the animal in the wild, and it will live on forever because you have it on
Yeah.
documentation of it. What I think would be cool, and this might be an idea, I don't know if you ever thought about this, is when you're out there when you show where you found it at, it would be great to get, like, if you have to flip a rock, what's the temperature of the rock and the temperature under the rock? What's the temperature, so that people who do have these in their collection can try to mimic the environment the best of their ability to where these animals are actually found. So I don't know if you ever thought about doing that.
Well, I'll have to pick up some yahoo from the chat room that has a temp gun, and we'll have to make that happen. We'll have to see if we can do that. But
Like you can get
that's a great idea. I never thought of it.
yeah, they got like them temp guns that got a little humidity on it. You can get right in the spot where you found it, show what the humidity is, where it's hanging out, and temperature of the day and the temperature there. And I think you would get a lot more views that way. A lot of people would be like, well, I got that type of snake at home, and if I can mimic what he's showing me, it might work better. I don't know.
Iron Dog's stepping up. Iron Dog's volunteering.
He says he has two. Hell yeah.
There you
He's
go,
gonna
Iron Dog.
talk with me about 30 minutes. He's going to be like, we're going to turn around and go back to the house and get my truck. I got you, D. I got you. We'll try and make that happen.
Yeah, I just think that would be, I mean, I love your videos anyway, but I mean,
Thank you.
I think it would be a good add to your videos that you do.
It's definitely something to consider, and I mean, it's just one of those great ideas that I just never thought of.
Like, you see people that do road cruising at night, but you never see somebody take a temperature of the road that the snake is curled up on trying to stay warm.
Well, let me tell you this. They're taking the temperatures of the road. They're recording that information. They're not releasing that information.
Is there a reason why they're not releasing that information, do you think?
I think a lot of it is, if I found a scarlet snake, which are in central Oklahoma, but very, very hard to find.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to. I don't want. It's not so much they don't want you to find it. It's kind of more along the lines of, hey, I put in the work, so you need to put in the work.
Oh,
And to a
okay.
degree, I kind of understand that, but I think there are some people out there that's like, I don't want you to find it because I can be the only one that finds this in this area, and I can be Billy, bad boy. I mean, there's some attitude like that out there in the field herp community, and I'm not trashing them. I'm just saying it exists.
No, there's always stuff like that exists everywhere.
Exactly.
I often thought of myself, going over here because there's sloughs and stuff over here, of pouring a little concrete slab and having a little hole dug underneath it and just setting it there and seeing how many snakes will come out at nighttime and sit on it to warm up and just to take pictures of it. But then I think the people in the town will get all pissed saying I'm trying to attract animals that shouldn't be here or something.
Well, let them. I mean, I don't know. At my house where it's being built is it's on a flat lot, but then there's like a hillside down off of it. It's just all these south facing rocks. And I'm sitting there going, God, there's got to be a timber rattlesnake down there somewhere.
Hmm.
And I'll go down there and dig a few extra holes if it helps.
Yeah, you're like me. I would do
I'll do
stuff
it
like
in the
that.
middle of the night. You won't know I'm doing it.
No, but you're like me. I would do the same thing. I'd be out trying to find a way to keep them to get more of them attracted there, make it more of a snake safe zone.
Yeah. And that's great. I mean, we need more people to make, their yards wildlife friendly, because the neighborhood I live in now in Broken Arrow is kind of out in the middle of the country.
Mm-hmm.
And they finally developed the field that was east of us and put in a new addition. And I thought, man, that's going to suck for the animals that are there, but it's going to happen. Well, next thing you know, my wife's like sending me pictures while I was at work, and she's like, "What's this?" I said, "That's an eastern hognose snake. I've been looking for one of those for like 3 years and never found where it's on our front porch." I mean, it's literally they're over here in this field next to my neighborhood, and the construction crews are flushing everything out, and they're showing up over here. And
Yeah.
they're going, man. That second year I had my YouTube channel, my best field herping was done in my backyard. I'll say that much.
Well, that's cool though. It's cool that you can go right in your backyard and do that.
Yeah, and I keep cover back there for them and stuff, and some neighbor probably doesn't like it, and oh well.
Oh well, yeah.
But
Who cares?
hey, Todd, and I appreciate you always being on the show. Andrew, my name's David, by the way, or Rambo,
Yes.
whatever you want to call me. Like, it's been an honor to have you on the show. I am going to stop it here, though. Like, I'd love to go one day with you on yours, or you come back on
Absolutely.
mine. That would be dope. Talk
Absolutely.
about ball pythons and whatnot, and have a good time. But
Yeah, because I
I
got some
do have,
questions for you. I would like to ask you, so I'll have to get you on.
yeah. But I do have work in the morning, sadly.
Sure.
So
I
Get out
understand
of here,
that.
man.
Hey, Todd, I'm going to get you on.
Hey, Andrew, I'm going to try and message you this week and get
Sure.
you some things that I think would be good topics to cover.
Okay.
We're going to make that happen, dude.
All right.
It's going to go down. So
No problem. Thanks for
Okay.
having me on, Dave.
Thank
Todd.
you, Dave. As
Anytime.
always.
Peace.
Peace.
Right.